saying you've been selected to play the Grand National, like thousands and thousands of people go to that, so it'd be good for us to get in front of an audience. Yeah, we don't know who you are, what are you on about? So you're like, right, okay. It turns out we weren't actually playing at the festival. We were playing in the car park
Oh
outside.
my God.
Literally, as they were about to set up, the electricity for the stage was coming out of a burger van, and the fella wanted to go home, so he turned it off on them. That was the end of the gig.
This is the part of the show, people, where we do an introducing. This is Dougie's Atomic Dustbin Part 98, and there's a funny story behind meeting this band. Well, we've not met them yet. We're going to meet them now, and now we happen to get them on the show. So, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name's Dan, and I sing and play guitar in the band Seprona.
Yeah, yeah, lovely, lovely. My wife is from, because obviously, you can tell from your dulcet tones, you're from Liverpool, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, Heighton specifically, if you know it.
Oh, Heighton, bloody hell, man. Yeah, Jesus, you've been dragged up. My wife grew up in Rainhill, so you probably know where that
Oh,
is.
it's not very far from here.
No, I know, I know. Unfortunately, there's not a wall to stop you all coming over from Iron. Anyway, I jest, I jest. And for everybody out there, and I don't know if you know, do you know the story how we ended up getting you on the show?
Um, Something to do with you buying a drum kit, was it?
Right, we've got duggyfest 24, and we wanted a drum kit to make it as painless for the bands as possible, so they could just turn up with their not the microphones, with the guitars and their cables and plug into our stage box. That's it. So we said, right, let's get a drum kit, and because our headliners would normally provide a drum kit, but they're flying in from Guernsey, and I don't think you'll get it on the carry on, will he? Do you know what I mean? A full
No,
drum set.
absolutely not.
So we trolled the internet, YouTube, eBay, and I saw one for sale. I thought that'll just do us for the day. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, just nice and steady. And it's got the players on the front. So we went to pick it up. Got chatting to his dad because it was in his garage, and he's a hoot. His dad is so funny, and
Oh, yeah.
he went, and he's a big advocate for you. He went, oh, my son's in another band, they're brilliant, they're from Liverpool. Here they are. This is them. Have a look at them. Go and check them out. So me and Eddie listened to your music on the way home. It was about an hour and a half. We listened to your music on the way home, and I said, these are bloody good. Let's get him on the show. So I contacted Janice and says, get this band on the show, and that's the story. So that's how we've ended up here today.
Amazing.
And the drum kit is over there. On the day, it's going to say Dougie Stone Radio, not the players.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's great. So, I mean, it's how these things happen. You can't write it, can you? You know, that's like, things. But your music's good, man. And that's why I've got you on. There's no other.
No, I appreciate that.
Yeah, really like it. Really like the sound. We've just, not the last track before, we played a track from you. Thank you very much. Which is not released yet, called "Take the Bait." We really like that, but we do like you. We do like the sound. It's good, man. It's good.
Thank you very much. I know I appreciate you playing it for us, and yeah, it's funny you say like the way things work out because, at any time he could have been selling that drum kit, but it sort of coincided with us releasing this new song. So obviously, it makes a lot of sense to speak to you at this time as well.
It's mad, isn't it? I mean, I don't believe in divine intervention, but I believe the universe. There's so that might be why people believe it. Think of God or whatever. But I do think things happen for a reason. And I was looking at another drum kit and I didn't buy it, and for some reason I decided to pick that one. Don't know why. Just thought, I'll get that, and it's mad, and it's great how things come together. Is it by chance? Is something pushing us together? I've no idea, but hey, we've got a great drum kit, and we got to.
And here we are.
Yeah,
yeah. So thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. Tell us a bit about the band and how you all got together.
So we've been together for a few years now. We started off. Well, it was like I started off with a few other members and stuff, and like things weren't really working out. So we went for a few years of like just trying a few things out, and then we had this gig booked in, and I didn't really have a band for it. So we got Lewis in, who you got the drum kit off, Niall and Adam, and now Tom. And yeah, we just made that gig work, and then we sort of were like, "Shall we carry on doing this?" and everyone was up for it, so we carried on. And like from that point, it felt kind of like it felt a lot different when it was all of us together because we all kind of had a similar outlook, similar attitude. Um, like we obviously take the music very seriously, but we don't take ourselves too seriously,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of bands might be very guilty of. And we just try and enjoy ourselves, and through doing that and writing songs together, it's kind of gotten us to a point where we've done some really nice things and been on some like decent shows, and yeah, and we played some good gigs. So we're really happy with the way it's
Mm.
going, and we're back again, I suppose.
No, it's good because some of your tracks have had quite a few streams as well, which is nice to see. And
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's a good message for everyone. Is we do, this people probably think we're making a fortune doing this, and we're not. Do you know what I mean? I'd like
yeah,
to,
yeah.
and it'd be nice to, but um,
Go on.
it's about enjoying the journey and about enjoying what you're doing. And if
Absolutely.
that thing comes at the end of it, then great, that's the icing on the cake. But we
Yeah,
do it because for the love of it and the love of the music. I love interviewing people, so I do it because it's my passion, and why not? And you never know, it might progress. But I think when a lot of people focus on anything and expect to like make like loads of money or become famous like overnight, I think they
yeah,
get disillusioned very quickly, and then all falls by the wayside. So do it because you want
yeah,
to do it,
definitely.
not because you think there's pound notes at the end of it. So
Well, yeah, if that's why you were doing it, you would never do it.
no, you
But
wouldn't. You
I think
wouldn't.
I think
We've been out this 7 years, and it's like, oh my god, do you know what I mean? The amount of times I've been here with my head in my hands, going, "That's it, pack it in.
yeah,
We've had enough." And then someone comes along and stop me. And the last one has been the producer of this show, Janice. Dan Evans has obviously kept me going because he does a great reggae show. But Janice came along and inspired me to carry on and create this show. So thanks to
yeah.
Jan for that. Wonderful.
Oh, well, that's good. Yeah. No, like you, sorry, just to add on to your point there, I think that like that's a thing that everyone in a band probably suffers with as well. It's like you want all these results, but actually the reason you get into the band in the first place is because you enjoy the music and you want to make songs and you want to play gigs. And I think when you're trying to like, get more Spotify plays or get on certain like targets and things like that, that can sort of go by the wayside sometimes and you forget what you're actually doing it for. And
Yeah.
I think that's one thing we've learned is to get back on to just making sure we're enjoying everything that we do. And I think that's done us really well lately.
Yeah, I mean, I've started doing. I do some stuff outside to just bring some cash in to help fund this and some other stuff I do, and it's totally took the pressure off me from trying to, oh, what a sponsor for this or what a sponsor for that, and
Yeah,
spending that time trying to get sponsors when actually fund it yourself, enjoy it, grow the platform, and hopefully something will happen. That's the way I'm doing it. If not, I'll just keep putting money in it and keep doing it and see where it goes. And at the end of it,
yeah, mate.
I've enjoyed it. Like you will be. You should be very proud of your achievements and where you've got and what you're doing, and we are as well. Hey,
Amazing.
we're
Yeah,
all winning, aren't we? Have you got
yeah,
any
exactly.
Janice, our producer, said, "Oh, it's because she's from round Rainhill as well." She says it's great to hear a Scouse voice to feel like home, but she doesn't even sound Scouse. You can't even tell she's Scouse. You know what I mean? Oh, but wonderful. So I don't do football. Which are you, blue or red?
I'm a blue, but the rest of them are reds.
Oh,
I'm the
wonderful.
solo blue in the band.
No.
It's been a good week for us, but other than it's not usually. It's usually them who will get one over on me anyway.
Hey, just roll with it, mate. Just roll with
Got to
it.
take the small victories, haven't we?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. I think it's the same for me. Me brother-in-law, sister-in-law. She's Liverpool, and he's Everton. So I mean, it's mad, isn't it? Oh, Janice is a blue as well. Oh, there you go.
Nice
Very,
one,
very
Janice.
good. Anyone got any questions for our band? Drop them in the chat if you want. If you watch it on YouTube, forget it. It's already gone. The question I ask same questions a lot for a reason, but is any disasters that's happened on stage or before a gig or during a gig? Because they're normally good.
Do you know, generally with this band, we've been quite lucky.
Oh,
And I think we're all pretty solid on knowing what we need. So we haven't like forgotten anything or done anything too disastrous. But there was one. There was one gig. Actually, it was to play the Grand National at Aintree
Right?
Racecourse.
Yeah,
So
cool.
we got a real. You know what? I don't know if I'm throwing anyone under the bus saying this, but who cares anyway? I'll just go with it. We got this email being like, it seemed really professional. And we had applied to play or something. Saying you've been selected to play the Grand National. Like, you know, come on such a date. We've got all this equipment, and then we were like, yeah, of course, like that'd be amazing. And obviously, thousands and thousands of people go to that, so it'd be good for us to get in front of an audience. So we we were all excited turning up. We got to the front door, like the artist liaison part of the festival, and they were like, "We've never heard of you. We don't know who you are. What are you on about?" So you're like, "Right, okay." It turns out we weren't actually playing at the festival. We were playing in the car park outside. It was under the smallest gazebo you've ever seen, and it was raining very heavily that day, and the people organising it had forgot to get a PA in the first place. So like we basically just turned up with a load of instruments and not to plug into. But you know, you're there then, aren't you? So we were all in, and as we were playing, we got cut off after like three songs because another band needed to get on, and they travelled from down south somewhere. And
Oh my God.
literally, as they were about to set up, the electricity for the stage was coming out of a burger van, and the fella wanted to go home, so he turned it off on them. That was the end of the gig.
Oh, it's like Phoenix Nights, isn't it?
It
It's
was
like Phoenix
it
Nights.
couldn't have been any more Phoenix Nights if it tried. In fact, actually, when we packed our stuff away, a woman who'd been at the races all day robbed our drummer's stool, but she hadn't set it out properly and went flying. It was
Oh
just one of those.
my God, that is one of the best stories that a band has told. I don't know what'll top that. That is
No,
brilliant.
it was
That
funny. Like,
is... So some chancer. See, he's probably not listening, but that's sort of thing that Eddie King, Eddie himself. I've got all these bands coming. That is ridiculous, though, isn't it? That someone
yeah,
did that, and but that fancy not even having all the gear for you.
yeah, because we turned up and we're like, "Oh, so where's all the stuff?" And he was like, "Oh, what stuff?" Like they just, but I think it was someone who had no idea about anything to do with
Ah,
music,
so
so they
they
just had no concept of any needing anything.
they thought that you'd come and you'd have everything, didn't they?
Yeah, exactly. Which was it. But beforehand, we got another email from the person who sent us the original one saying that they're no longer part of this event, and we were like, "What's going on there? Something's gone on." And it was obviously quite clearly because they could see what was going to happen on the day that they just jumped ship.
Well, the good thing for you guys, you're only down the road, and that
Yeah.
is a great story. If nothing else, that is an absolutely brilliant. I love that. That's
And as well,
brilliant.
like I think that like it's hard to set the scene, but turning up thinking you're gonna play in front of thousands of people and
Oh
then looking at
man, I mean,
a puddle filled car park.
oh crap! Hey, don't say anything. But there's loads of people. There's a few bands coming for our duggyfest, and it's going to be the same.
Don't tell them. You don't
I'm
need to
not going
know
to
until
tell them.
they're there.
No.
Once they're there, they're gonna play anyway.
Yeah, they'll play anyway. It'd be fine. Oh man, that is terrible. Because you're right. There's a lot to go in. If you don't know what you're doing, there's a lot to go into it. I mean, me and Eddie have
Yeah,
been doing rehearsals and getting used because we bought some different. We brought a new stage box we've never seen before, but it's really. When we first got it open, and in fact, sorry, I'll rewind a bit. I had it in my studio for about a month and a half, 2 months. I was scared to death of plugging it in because I knew it was gonna be. It was just like blowing my mind. I was like, okay, oh, I'll leave that. I'll leave that. And I got Eddie. I got Eddie involved, and he ran with it like a dog with a bone, and came down. And we've sorted it now, but it's brilliant.
good stuff.
Mrs. Dennis says Kurt's not told the bands are coming. You need to bring 50p for the meter. Hey, don't worry. I'm from Manchester. We don't need meters. I'm plugged into the lamppost outside.
Or to the burger van.
The burger van, yeah. So keep buying the burgers so he can keep because once you stop buying the burgers, he'll be gone. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm charging them gate fee to come in. Uh, oh, Posty Ross, this is a question that Eddie normally asks. Seeing Eddie's not here, Edward's not here, what tour van do you drive? And that's one question he asks. Do you have a tour van?
But
All cars?
yeah, yeah. Well, to be fair, I do all the driving for the gigs and stuff. We've got
Burger van.
someone frying in the back. No, we've got it's a Renault Traffic
Oh,
60.
nice.
So yeah, it's an older one. In fact, it needs sorting out at the moment. There's a few issues, but um, it's still working for the moment. But
Uh,
yeah, a Renault Traffic,
I,
which is good because it's got like the 6 seats in the front and then like space in the back to put stuff in.
Brilliant. Crew cab. Hey, people, if anyone out there and has got a van knocking about, 21 plate with like low miles, give it to the band. They need one.
Yes, please, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Do you know actually we did? Sorry,
Go
go
on.
on
No, no, go on.
on
No,
that
go on. You're
point.
all right.
On that point, we did. We've done a few things with Ford for some reason. Like they got in touch with us and wanted us to film a few things. And for one of the videos that we did, the idea was to promote a new electric van, and like we basically plug in and show that the van has loads of electricity for a band to even use, which was
Brilliant.
a great idea. But the van was worth about like £90,000 or something, and sadly that wasn't part of the deal coming our way afterwards.
Oh. Hey, but think about this going forward. How cool would that be? Because
Yeah,
you could go in a van, you could say to, listen, tell them the story about the burger van going. Wouldn't it be great if you let us go and do gigs in car parks, plugged in with all your advert, and we'll do that for free. Just give us the van, and you could plug in and play anywhere, wouldn't you? Wouldn't have to worry about the
yeah,
burger van. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
yeah, EV. Trouble is, you won't be able to go far in the EV, would you? You'd only have to go about 50 miles or something, and you have to plug it in.
Especially when we're using all the charge for the gig itself as well.
Yeah, that's just
A few miles off.
insane, isn't it? Insane. Bun just said, "What's your earliest memory of hearing music?"
Of hearing music.
Yeah. So, what music
Yeah.
sort of like you remember? Go, oh, that I remember that. That's brilliant.
Do you know? I did an interview the other day. Actually, I was speaking about this with uh, when I was younger. I remember really distinct. I remember my first time like singing was it like I must have been about I don't know. I was really young, but it was Wonderwall in someone's back garden. Um, but from that point when I was starting to get into music, there's a few moments where it was like to get into a band, but when I started, it was we were in primary school learning about the Beatles. I don't know if that's part of the curriculum or whatever, but we were, and I came home and told like me nan about it, um, that what we were learning about in school, and she was like, "Oh, I've got these," and then she went and like rooted out these old Beatles records from the '60s, and like she'd been to see them and everything, and like her auntie was, I don't know, it was something to do with the Odeon when he premiered the film. So she had all like the autographs, but I've got like a really vivid memory of her getting the record player out and putting
Brilliant.
like, I think it was, I don't know which one it was first, but it was like one of the earlier ones. And she put it on, and I just remember hearing the songs and like listening to the album in full and watching like the record spin round because obviously like that's not when you're young, that's not really something you do. Um, and even at that point, it was CDs anyway, so like people were
Yeah.
not listening to records. So it was something that I'd never seen before, and like I just remember like putting the needle onto the record and being like, "Oh, music's coming out. What's this?" And listening to it must have been like the first two or three albums, and like just sitting on the floor in the living room listening to them,
Brilliant.
which was like a really amazing way to get into music, and it felt like really nice to have something. I don't know, something that you're so connected to
Mm.
um, from such a young age, and then obviously I've grown to like them more as I've got older,
Yeah.
and that's morphed into new things. And yeah, like with on that point, there's a few moments in my life where I feel like it's changed me like path to wanting to be in a band. I said, another one was when when I was like in school, and I think I don't know when the Wombats were playing in Liverpool, and it was just as they were sort of like emerging, so they weren't like famous, but it became a thing where like whenever they played, everyone would go,
Right.
and so it was just like getting exposure to being in a live venue and watching bands, and I remember on the way there. one of our parents was giving us a lift, and one of my mates put on the song called Jello Bricks by the Arctic Monkeys on the radio, or like whatever it was. He might have burned a CD at the time and put that on. And I remember like he turned it right up, and like as soon as it come in, it's like dun, 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 dun. I was like, whoa, what's this? And it just like opened me up to a whole new idea of music and
Mm.
what that could be and being in a band.
Yeah, brilliant. There's lots of stuff you talked about there, but I remember first hearing the Arctic Monkeys and I was blown away by them because they sounded quite different to what had been around. I quite enjoyed them. But I think going back to the Beatles, I mean, obviously, I should imagine 99% of people from Liverpool love the Beatles. And, you know, one of my earliest memories is actually the Beatles because I grew up in the 60s and I love the Beatles music. I think there's just something about them. And I think they've informed and inspired virtually every band you speak to will
Yeah,
a lot of them will talk about the Beatles, and if you've seen the way they emerge and the way they practice and their story, it's phenomenal. It's
yeah,
and you can see why you'd get inspired to go into the industry. I always my one of the earliest memories of music is I always wanted to be a presenter or be on the radio, and I didn't know how I'd ever get there or I'd ever do something. And I'm doing it now. Do you know what I mean? We do
yeah,
set our own thing up, but putting I used to have a record player, putting my music on, listening to that, and there's just something about that. Yes, it's great that we've got access whenever we want on our phones. Click, click, click.
yeah,
Listen to what you want, but there's something I think we've lost where you used to physically go up with the money you've either earned or you've been given for pocket money and going. Then you had to select. You know, I can only afford to buy one or two tracks, two
yeah,
records. Which ones I'm going to buy? So I think it's great. There's advantage of what we've got now, and there's disadvantage. I think we've
yeah, definitely.
lost something from that.
But I think as well, like you're saying on that, it's like if you bought a record and you'd stick with it. Like if you didn't like it, you'd listen to it again until you did like it. And I think that that's the thing we've lost because at the moment, I think while it's great to be able to listen to songs at any moment, and like obviously that's really got a place and that's amazing.
Mm,
But it makes music like if you don't like it within the first 10 seconds, you can just be, oh well, it's not for me.
yeah,
Move on.
and that's the downside for bands like yourself. Well, emerging bands. It's that you've got to grab them, haven't you? You've either got to grab them
Yeah,
by
straight away.
things you're doing on social media that gravitate them towards you, or they see you at a gig, or it's
Yeah,
quite difficult. It's opened the industry up for anybody, but it's still there's still a ceiling there because
yeah,
to get to the big time, as it were, there's still gatekeepers stopping you getting through, unless you end up with a massive following from like social media or something.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Wonderful. Oh, we've got a pretty basic band there in there from Brazil. They're on the coming every week. We've interviewed them. They said they're recording. They're in the recording process with a show schedule. That sounds good. Oh, Eddie's back in the building. He says, "What would you? Who would you most like to collaborate with?"
Who would I most like to collaborate with?
Yeah.
Do you know what? I'd probably go back to Arctic Monkeys when most likely Alex Turner from the Arctic Monkeys because I just think he's such a great songwriter and like the way, like his phrasing of words and lyrics and stuff like that. I think like I'm blown away by it. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mm,
like it's something that I don't think a skill that everyone's got at all, and I think like you'd learn so much from that being with someone and seeing how they work and their process and doing it.
yeah.
Um, and everyone works in different ways, obviously, but it'd be just like I think really insightful to see how he does it and what he does because it's so unique. And in fact, like, how would you learn from that to then take that into your own things? And plus, I just like all the songs anyway, so he could do all the work and I'll just sing.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I'd say because we've rattled on for some time quite now, and is any up and coming gigs or anything you want to promote that's happening?
Well, the new single, yeah, we are looking into booking more dates at the moment, but there's nothing 100% confirmed, so that's a bit annoying. But hopefully there will be soon. So anyone who's listening, keep an eye out because we are hopefully doing a few gigs in the next couple of months.
Brilliant.
But yeah, the main thing to plug is that we've got a new single coming out on Friday, which you've already heard if you've been listening to the show.
Yeah, Take the
Um,
Bait. It's brilliant.
Take
Love
the
it.
Bait, which which is coming out on Friday. So if anyone wants to listen to it, please do, and please share it with everyone and anyone who might like it. And yeah, hopefully from that you'll be able to come to a gig.
Excellent. What we normally do, because Eddie does the jingles in the background, can you do us an ident? We do it now because when you go off, you forget about it. You won't come back and do it for us. So can you do like,
Okay.
this is the Seprona, and you're listening to Dougie Stone Radio, and we'll whack that
Okay.
onto our systems.
Now, do you want me to do it?
Yeah, now,
Go
yeah.
now. Sorry, yeah. I feel the pressure of doing it now. No, my name's Dan from Seprona, and this is our new single out now called "Take the Bait."
Brilliant.
Is that good?
Yeah, that'll do, man. That's fine. That's fine. No, we'll do that. We'll go with that, and we'll send that. We'll send the track to Eddie, and Eddie can play it on his show as well, which will be great. And he does a show, so it's good. I could chat to you for hours, mate. I think quite easy to talk to, and I'm sure we could we could resolve a few things that's going on in the world and what have you as well. But
I'm sure we probably could.
But it's say hello to Louis for us. We'll look after his drum kit. And that'll be on duggyfest on the 18th of May, which is going to be good. And hopefully we'll have a backup generator for when the burger van goes. And do you know what, mate? It's one of the funny stories I've been told by the bands, and that's going to take a lot of topping. That was absolutely class.
Nice one.
I'm going to let you get on with the evening. We're going to carry on with the show. Keep in touch.
Amazing.
If you've got anything going on, send it to Janice. She'll let us know. If you want to send us some little videos, we play them on the show while we're doing it as well. So anything like that, and we'll keep in touch. Please keep in touch.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much for having us. I hope the drum kit stays up for you.
So do I. Else Louis, I'll be going to see Louis's dad.
Yeah, you know where he lives.
I do know where he lives. Did Louis tell you, before we go, did Louis tell you the story when I messaged him and said, your dad's fed up with all this stuff in his garage and he's let me buy it all for 150 quid. He had amplifiers and everything in it. And he laughed out loud. He went, hang on a minute. You're not serious, are you? So me and his dad, I did a video with his dad going, your dad's a great guy, he's given us all, and his dad was like rolling on the floor.
He's amazing.
I love him to bits. He's an absolute character. Definitely a character. Yeah. Right, we're going to get on with the show. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you so much for having us.
No worries, people. We played the track. Go and check them out. It gets released on Friday. That's Seprona. Wonderful. Another introducing done. Thanks very much, my friend.
Oh, thank you very much. See you again soon.
Speak to you soon, man. See you soon.
Bye.